All right, folks, this is Sultan. I'm not a Christian. I don't hold any love for any religion, but over the years, I have grown to admire the benign and peaceful nature of Christianity, something that I tend to ignore in the past, but here we are. And no, I'm not converting to Christianity. The only time when I'll convert to any religion is when I see evidence for it. But one thing that has always bothered me is that why are Christians so peaceful that they don't even stand up for what rightfully belongs to them? I'm sorry, maybe there's still a little bit of a Muslim left in me. I believe in fighting back. I believe in standing up for what's rightfully yours. I don't believe in turning the other cheek. So this thing goes right over my head because I want Christians to fight back. I want Christians to say, this is our country, these are our values, and we're going to defend them aggressively if we have to. So UKIP, which is a right-wing conservative party in Britain, was going to hold a Walk with Jesus march. But the Met Police, in all their wisdom, have banned it because they don't want to offend their Muslim overlords. So Scotland Yard has stopped a UKIP march from going ahead in East London over fears of provoking the local Muslim community. So the Muslims haven't even said anything yet. They haven't even said that, hey, we're not going to let you hold this march. But the Met Police preemptively recognize that this is going to offend Muslims. This is how wimpy they are. This is how whipped they are. The demonstration titled Walk with Jesus. What's wrong with that? Muslims say we love and respect Jesus. Well, you should join the march too then. But they won't, because we know they don't care about Jesus. They only care about Muhammad. Yeah, they have their own character Jesus, which is nothing like the Jesus of Christianity. So yeah, they care about their Jesus, not Christianity's Jesus. Look at this shameless post by the Met Police. We reasonably believe, based on the information available and on previous similar incidents, that the coming together of the UKIP protest with groups who are opposed to its presence would be highly likely to lead to violence and serious disorder. Why don't they do that with Muslims holding their rallies? Why do they let them chant Sharia for UK? Why do they let them hold pro-Pali rallies?
If the West feels so sorry for the Israeli Zionists, why don't they give a place in Germany? Why don't they go to Hitler's back garden and make an occupation there? Then they will know what kind of people these are. Why every so many hundred years the Zionists get slaughtered? Because Hitler knew how to deal with these people.
Is that because they know that the native Brits are peaceful people? They're not going to cause any serious violence or serious disorder? Is that the reason why? It would be reckless to allow an event to go ahead in this location. In these circumstances, by the way, the location is Tower Hamlets, which is a hub of Islamic extremism. So why is the Muslim population of Britain so aggressive and violent and everyone is scared of them? Why? It's because Muslim influencers like Muhammad Bankrupt Hijab and Dildo Boy are allowed to spew out their venom openly, uninterrupted, boastfully. Have a listen to Dildo Boy, what he's saying. These guys don't even feel the need to say these things cryptically. You know why? Because they know that there are cowards in our governments. Whether that's Australia or Britain, it's the same story everywhere. Keir Starmer, Shabana Mahmood, they could shut these people down very easily. Very easily. They've got hate speech laws. But listen to this. They never stop them.
Have a concept of ummah, and therefore we are not entirely committed to the notion of the nation state.
See that? We have the Muslim community. That's who we are loyal to. The global Muslim community. Whether they're Gazans or Somalis or whatever. We don't care about the idea of nation states, such as the UK. But these shameless cretins are perfectly okay to use the power of the UK passport. Perfectly okay with that. Perfectly okay to flaunt that, go anywhere in the world, use the freedom of speech that has been afforded to them thanks to the idea of nation states, but when it doesn't suit them, They can discard that. This is treason. We need to bring back treason laws. I'm telling you, this bravery, this bravado, look at him, the way he's sitting there, this smug, vile creature. The way he's sitting there so boastfully is because he knows that we have cowards in our government. It's because he knows we have cowards in our governments. They're not going to do anything. I'm telling you, if I was the Home Secretary of Britain, I can guarantee you within 6 months, all of them would be like, how high you want me to jump? And I wouldn't use any violent means. I wouldn't torture them. I wouldn't use Khamenei's or Xi Jinping's or Putin's methods. Deportation. That's it. We're not going to lose our humanity in the process just to get these people in line.
Do any of you not worship a state? Tell me, if there's anyone here that worships Britain, is there anyone here that worships a state?
What a straw man. Obeying the laws of the country you live in is not worshipping the state, you dickhead.
Has given bay'ah to a state? Of course not. First, no such entity exists worthy of that. Inshallah, we live to see that. Secondly, that's not how Islam works.
Don't get it to a Muslim country. Practice it over there. And then you know what they say? They say, oh, you bomb us. Well, don't meddle with our interests. Don't try to wipe Israel off the map. Don't try to fly planes into our buildings. We'll leave you alone.
Our allegiance first and foremost to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet ﷺ and the believers. That is where our loyalty lies. That is where victory and liberation will come from.
So it's not just a matter of their loyalty to their prophet or their religion or the Muslim community. That's where the victory will come from. What do they mean by victory? Meaning conquering your land, subjugating you, planting the flag of Islam. Openly, look, they're saying it openly. This is not cryptic. I'm not adding anything to it. What does it mean by this is where the victory will come from? What victory?
So given that, that's a problem for people who believe that we should worship states. We've seen it with the way Tommy Robinson managed to get 150,000 people in London.
Yeah, 3 million people, sure.
Does anyone from the elders, do you ever remember a far-right march from your day that had 150,000 people in London? Never. That was light work for him. That was light work for him.
He knows he's scared. There are a lot more. There's going to be millions more. The time is coming to an end. You will be deported, dildo boy. You will be deported, humiliated, and kicked out. And all your buddies, they will be begging them, no, we don't care about the Ummah. That was just our bravado. We were just trying to rally our troops. We've lost. Please don't kick us out. We don't want to go to our shithole Muslim countries. We hate our lives over there. Please don't kick us out there. That's what they'll say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All these flags that you're seeing, raise our flag. But talking about solutions, I think the fact that we managed to get 40...
I don't know. I didn't edit this video, so it looks like obviously this is choppy. So I'll be mindful if something sounds like out of context, I will point that out.
I think the fact that we managed to get 4 independent Muslim MPs, and I think that's a good reflection. We should be aiming for more. Our future is not in Labour. I want to get into...
So he's loyal to the idea of the Muslim community, not loyal to the idea of nation states, but is okay to use the democratic means invented or made possible only by the idea of nation states. There are no elections in the Khilafat or the Caliphate. Why don't you go there? Go to Afghanistan. He simps for Afghanistan massively. Went to Afghanistan. Him and his other boyfriend, Saleh, whatever his name is, Muhammad Saleh. He went there. What happened? Why don't you go contest elections over there? Oh, I see. You can't contest elections in a true Muslim country. Oh, I see. I get it. See how hypocrite the flip-flop, whatever suits them, they take it. And when it doesn't suit them, they throw it in your face shamelessly, and our governments don't do anything. There's no other solution. Bring back treason laws. Bring back treason laws. Bring back capital punishment. And it wouldn't even come to that. As I said, we wouldn't need to torture them. We wouldn't need to execute them. No, we don't do that. Okay, we've gone past the dark ages. But we have a tool, which is canceling citizenships. Such a beautiful tool. You know how Trump says that tariff is the most beautiful word in the English language? I say canceling citizenships is the most beautiful principle in Western countries. Beautiful. I understand why people squirm at the idea of canceling people's citizenships is because in the Dark Ages, people used to be exiled. And again, because we have come a long way from those Dark Ages, from the brutal medieval period, we don't do that anymore. But no, some of these rules made sense. They actually make sense. I actually think that exiling is better than killing or executing people. So if you can say, hey, you know what? Sorry, you're a danger to our social cohesion. You're not fit for our society. We have to kick you out. We don't want our country to become what you want it to be. So we're going to either put you behind bars for 20 years or voluntarily cancel your citizenship and get out. Actually, that would be a good idea too. Give them extremely long sentences, 20 years, 30 years, or renounce your citizenship and go back. They'll take it in a heartbeat.
Politics, and especially in towns and cities like Birmingham, there's about 20 to 25 constituencies where Muslims, literally, if they're united, they can literally they can be kingmakers. That's not to say that is a solution, but that is at least a louder, more principled voice in Commons. If there was no Muhammad Ayub, do you think...
Isn't that amazing that all these idiots in Labour, they've been appeasing these people to win over their votes? It's the same thing that's going to happen with the Democrats in America as well. If these idiots in America think that, oh, if we let these sectarian tribal people in, give them citizenships, they will be our lifelong voters, then I have a beachfront property in Afghanistan to sell to you. That's not how it works. Their children who would speak with native accents, who would understand the system, they will create their own little tribes and they will have nothing to do with lefty politics. You think these people that you've been enabling for many decades, they're going to subscribe to pro-LGBTQ transgender politics? They hate you. You hate the right of your country, like the conservatives, the Christians. You hate them. These guys are far more conservative and radical and right-wing than your native right. So Labour is actually finding out. These people don't like Labour.
Muhammad Ayub, do you think Ayub Khan, if there was no Ayub Khan, would Maccabee have been banned?
No.
Let's be honest.
You're right.
If you had a Labour MP in his constituency, would Maccabee have come and played against Aston Villa, their fans? Of course they would have. You know they would have. It's because you had an independent MP, and it's because a half-decent chief constable in West Midlands.
Half-decent, yeah, what a wimp.
And again, I'm not one to praise the police.
I don't want to praise the police, see? They did everything they wanted them to do, and they still don't want to praise them. So that pussy of a police commissioner, whoever that was, from Birmingham, who banned the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, let me break it to you. You have not won any brownie points for these people. These people are very dogmatic and ideological and very firm in their ideology. They don't like you, no matter how much you bend over for them. They don't like you. They will not shake hands with you. And the moment they get an opportunity to kick you out, they will. And your daughters will say, where the F were you when these people were taking over? You would say, oh, I was fulfilling my dominatrix fetish. That's who you are.
I'm not one to praise the police. If you're not involved in any type of da'wah, Islamic activism, advocacy, any type of work for the advancement, for the conveyance of Islam in this country, you should not be here. Following Islam is not supposed to be a cruise. Allah tests those whom He loves. He loves the people of Asham, He loves the people of Gaza, He loves the
people of Gaza. What a psychopathic Allah that is. He loves the people of Gaza, getting their children blown up, limbs flying everywhere. Your Allah has one way of showing love. What a psychopathic Allah. These guys are severely deluded. This is why it makes them so dangerous. They are so firm in their delusion that no amount of common sense can win in their court. No one can change their minds. This is how severely deluded these people are. We used to watch those people, crazy homeless guys holding up a placard saying the end is nigh. Old Hollywood movies used to portray those people as they're long gone. They're just crazy. You can't reason with them. Now, that was a caricature or a stereotype in the Christian world or in the Western world. The entire Muslim world is like that. Every Muslim will tell you, oh yeah, the day of judgment is very near. Allah is testing us. They are so firm in the delusion. It's so scary. This is what makes them so much more scarier than the Chinese and the Russians. Because in China and Russia, they're controlled through fear by a despot at the top. But these guys are zombies.
People of Palestine. He loves the people of Asham. He loves the people of Yemen. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, you've waged jihad. They have already shown to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that they will give and sacrifice for His cause. It is us that have to prove it. It is us that have to mobilize. The white British public are our qawm. We are part of a global Muslim ummah, but our local societies are our qawm.
Oh, is this something nice? Must be an agenda behind it.
And so many a times throughout the history of the prophets, the qawm rejected their prophets.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So whether patriots want to accept us or not, I couldn't give a rat's, I couldn't give a damn.
You will give a damn when they will grab you by your collar, cancel your citizenship, and put you on a one-way ticket back to, he's a Bengali, I think, or Afghanistan, whatever you want to go. You will be sent back. You would give a rat's ass then. You would give a damn then. It's going to happen. Because I'm telling you, guys, there is no other solution. Seriously, there is actually no other solution. Look at them. Look how shamelessly they boastfully declare their plans. And we are told to shut up. We can't do anything because we have some traitors in our government. But again, this is changing. Oh, by the way, in Australia, yesterday, on Australia Day, we had a rally and one of our mainstream channels, Channel 10, showed ordinary Aussies simply saying on TV, on national TV, saying that, yeah, we don't want any Muslims there. And the host was laughing. I was like, wow, this is, so Australia is a bit different. I think we're good. Interesting times in Australia, but the UK, unfortunately, we're not going to have any elections until 2029. And Nigel Farage, Suella Braverman just joined Reform. Now I may have some hopes for Nigel Farage because Nigel Farage flip-flops between his positions. I do have a feeling on his own he's going to be a disappointment. But someone like Suella, she's smart, she's intelligent, she knows the system. So she is probably going to be somewhat effective as opposed to getting these new people who are all full of hot air, but they don't know how systems work.
We are here, we have a duty, we have a job to do. All of us have a different role to play. Our sisters have a role to play, the brothers have a role to play, the young have a role to play, the old have the role to play, the middle-aged have a role to play, the rich and the poor and everything between us have a role to play.
You all have a role to play, which is to take over. Not my words, I mean, you watched the video, yeah? They say it all the time, all the freaking time. And then we're supposed to just take it. We're supposed to shut up and just wither away, just walk away in the sunset. But it's not going to work out that way. There's no way it's going to work out that way. The lack of action of the government is taking all of us towards a collision course. And that collision course is going to be very violent the longer we put it off. Go in parliament, bring about these laws, apply those hate speech laws on these people. This is hate. This is hate against everything British, against British values, British history, British culture, British norms, British democracy. Hey, he said it. I don't even believe in nation states. We don't care about nation states. Okay, you don't care about nation states? Get out. Cancel your citizenship. Go be a citizen of the Muslim Ummah. Simple. Hold them accountable to their own words. Hold them to their own standards. But, well, I guess in Britain, we're going to have to see what reform does. But if that doesn't happen, there's going to be a revolution. All these Western countries will head towards a revolution because, yes, you got the native populations down from 99% to 80% in Britain, but it's not going to go down quietly to 50%. It's not going to happen. Something big, major is going to happen before that. I'll go to Vietnam or Thailand or something when that happens because it's not going to be pretty. Let me make a very clear prediction. Within 10 to 15 years, we're going to see an emergence of a serious Islamist separatist movement in Europe. Don't believe me? Look, they've already set plans in motion. Check out Muhammad Hijab, what he's saying. He's saying that there are close to 50 million Muslims in Europe. That's more Muslims in Europe than in some Muslim countries. Have a listen to what he has to say.
Our numbers are massive. There's 50 million Muslims in Europe.
Ooh.
There's more Muslims in Europe than there are in some Muslim majority countries. If all the Muslims in Europe were one country, it would be one of the biggest Muslim countries in the world. That's the truth. If all the Muslims in Europe were one country, it would be in the top 10 or top 15 biggest Muslim countries in the world. It would be a big country. We're big people.
It'll be still a shithole, though. Just imagine, just imagine Syrians, Afghans, Albanians, Lebanese, Pakistanis, Bengalis, Libyans, Moroccans. They're all living in one Muslim country in a prosperous continent like Europe, where they would already get some sort of already established institutes, banking system, roads, infrastructure, but still they would be fighting with each other because they wouldn't be able to decide which form of Islam should govern them. Every culture would be trying to dominate the other culture. And in the end, they wouldn't get along. They don't get along. They don't get along. Muslims don't get along with each other, okay? When they're not fighting the Jews and the Christians, they're fighting with each other, okay? I'm not saying anything out of the ordinary. Just look at Muslim countries. So that country would still be a shithole and they wouldn't be happy. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to still start emigrating to Western countries.
So that means we need to start acting like the Muslim.
We need to start acting. There you go. There you go. They have already set plans in motion. There's going to be a separatist Islamist movement in Europe within the next 5 to 10 years. Maybe not 15, 5 to 10 years.
Community have to become the consequence. Make them think, okay, well, if we mess around with this community, what's going to happen? We have to start.
No, you know what they're going to think? That's going to give rise to more far-right voices in Europe, and they're going to grab you, drag you, and deport you. Boatloads of you will be deported. That's going to happen. Forget about this. Forget about the idea that Westerners, Europe is already a very small continent by landmass. Europe is smaller than Australia, okay? Europe is smaller than us, Australia. Yes, we are almost empty, but there's 750 million people live in Europe. Most educated, most prosperous, most cultured people. Do you think that they're going to give up a big chunk for you people? Not going to happen, son.
Acting as if we have the upper hand because we do.
No, you don't.
What?
You're going to fuck around and you're going to find out, just like you fucked around everywhere. Everywhere these people fuck around because they have this belief in divine help. That's what they taught when they were doing October 7th. Look what happened. Look at the consequence. Gaza razed to the ground. Hezbollah gone. Houthis teetering. And now Iran is about to find out. The whole network is about to be destroyed, but no divine help came. That's how pathetic these people are.
Says that the word of Allah, it's high. The reason why the Salaf, the early generations, were so successful in spreading Islam across the world,
because they were brutal. They were beheading people, chopping people. It cannot work anymore like this. Look what they did in Iran. They killed 20,000 people between 8th and 9th of January. Within 48 hours, they killed 20,000 people, according to some reports. We don't know. Actually, now, even Iran's president's son has admitted. Look at this. Iran's president's son urges authorities to restore internet after protest blackout. The son of Iran's president has called for the internet restrictions in the country to be lifted, saying nothing will be solved by trying to postpone the moment when pictures and videos circulate of the protests that were violently crushed by the regime. He's saying that sooner or later, which I've been saying too, these videos are going to come out. What are you going to do then? This means those who were not and are not dissatisfied will be added to the list of the dissatisfied. So he's saying something we will have to face sooner or later. It's going to come out. So that's how they used to govern back in the day. What Muhammad Hijab is alluding to here, that, oh, yeah, the early Salafs were so successful. They were successful because back then there was no internet. You couldn't film their atrocities, but that's not going to happen now. Even your own people will rise up against you, like they have in Somaliland and in Iran.
Was because they had this immense amount of courage, backed by this immense amount of tawakkul, which means reliance on Allah. You realize that, look, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah, and it is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. Concept of martyrdom, then I would consider that to be an advantage, frankly. The one who's willing to commit suicide has the initiative.
It's amazing that these people who encourage other people to be ready to die for a cause never die themselves. Never.